Alrighty, we're going to do a quick fishing guide and we're going to do a basic rule check here. So if the fish is dragging to the left, you pull with the stick the opposite direction and then back towards yourself to get it back towards the center. The object is to keep the fish in the center. Well, the object is to catch the fish, but keep it in the center. When your stamina is out, let go of the stick for a moment, let it recharge and then get back dragging. If you don't have bait equipped, go into your inventory, make sure your fishing pole is equipped and your bait is equipped. You can buy some from the contract merchant once per day, and then you can use the radio menu, the circle menu. It's L2 on PlayStation, I would assume left trigger on Xbox, and then use the second menu to pull out your fishing rod. And if there is water, you can toss it in, and once a fish is on, you can hit L1 to grab it and then try to drag it in. The reality is you're going to not catch every fish. It just happens. It depends on bait, depends on your level, depends on what rod you're using. There's a lot of factors, especially early on. The level 1 fishing is the hardest fishing you're going to have. Even if you use great bait, the only fish you can really catch, you don't want to catch big fish. You want the small fish because you can actually catch them. Big fish normally have the double arrow and you can't actually catch them. Once you get to like level 3 and 4, I still use the basic bait and basic rod, and I can catch some blue ones at that level. But at level 1, there's no freaking chance. So it's one of those things where you just need to keep grinding, and eventually it becomes easier. So again, just remember, if it pulls left, pull it back to the center. It pulls right, and the very rare chance it stays in the center, you just pull back. Oh, and when you first catch it, give it like a brief second and then hit the catch button again, L1 on PlayStation, and there's like just a smidge. You get like a little tiny boost, so it does help a bit, especially with those bigger fish. And I still have the first level rod, by the way. For leveling, you can make rye bread, which the hardest thing to get is going to be the wheat. You can buy that from the Sundry dude, but he only sells 10 a day, and you can farm it on like the harvesters out in the rye fields outside of Castleton, but it's such a low drop rate that it's not worth it. And then for fish, so basically it's not based upon what fish you catch. It's based upon the color of the fish you catch. So the basic fish, the Belfort bass there, for instance, generally gets you like 120, 150 EXP. But the higher rarity fish, the bluefish, the arowana and whatnot, they will get you 400 experience. But again, to hammer this in, at level 1, you're not probably catching a bluefish. You might get lucky, but I wouldn't count on it. You should be aiming more for the lake fish in the early levels and not the ocean fish. Because there is a difference. The ocean fish, actually, for some reason, you can't destroy them except for certain crabs, and that gives you different bait, which we'll get into bait in a minute. But again, there's a difference between lake fish and sea fish. They will do it for your cooking recipes, so if you're doing cooking as well, make sure you note that. Generally, you'll want lake fish for a lot of your cooking recipes, just for the record, also to help you make more bait. You can buy bait 1 box per day at the contract merchant, but you can also buy them with your ornate coins in the shop if you want to do that. However, you can also find bait, like worms, for instance, in trees. The trees you cut down, I mean. But the best bait you can get reliably, I should say, is actually dissolving your fish, your lake fish, into fish fillet bait, I believe it is. And this helps you catch larger fish and increases fishing efficiency, as they put it, which means ultimately that it is easier to catch fish. But again, at level 1, I wouldn't even bother using this because yes, it increases your fishing efficiency, but the big fish are just so hard for you to catch at level 1. Just save that to like 3 or 4 and use your basic baby bait until then. The other thing you want to look out for is the sacks that you can fish up. Sometimes they have Nature's Jade in them. Nature Jade, you need 10 of them to get to the blue fishing pole, and then I think it's something absurd like 100 to get to the purple fishing pole. I am level 8 fishing. I've probably caught about, 200-300 fish, and I have like 4 of these. They are extremely rare. But if you can get 10, get the fishing pole, the next level fishing pole, I gotta assume it's way better because it is so freaking hard to get. And you can find it, of course, in the Sundry's Crafting in the Castleton or whatever the first town is. Assuming you can get, again, 10 Nature's Jade. One last thing I want to factor in is fishing in the rain. I personally feel that it is a little bit harder and I generally get the bigger fish there, but it could just be me tripping. Who friggin' knows? Also, when the whale goes over, sometimes it rains down this like blue colored light. that generally improves your fishing chances as well. But, you know, you got to rely on that thing to show up, which apparently it doesn't even do 100% of the time. So just factors to keep in mind. All right, there's a basic fishing guide for you. As I said, it's just mostly grinding those first few levels, and then you will eventually get to the point where you can actually fish in the blue ones, and then it's just a grind because it takes so long to get experience. Even if you're catching fish consistently, you need like so much experience. 400 doesn't even really matter. Anyways, keep going. Good luck. See you guys in the next video.